Hello everyone, I all hope you had a very wonderful evening and afternoon as well, guys. I'm sorry guys for exactly shooting this late again. I was exactly busy writing new characters and old characters in my other book, so that when I exactly continue to do these episodes, I'll be able to tell you more about them and also about their history, their past, how they're connected to the sacred war, to the sacred world, to the universal heroes, and to the enemies that the universal heroes are fighting for. One more thing, guys. I won't be exactly shooting from next week. So next week it's holidays, it's school holidays. So you'll see me when the schools exactly reopen again. So today is the last episode, and you'll see me when the schools open again. For those of you who are exactly watching the long video, I'll be able to upload it on Monday because on Fridays I'm having a bit more difficulty to try to exactly upload it. So I will able to exactly upload it on Friday. But for those of you who are exactly watching shorts, you'll exactly receive the shorts of the video of this episode that I'm exactly doing. So anyway, guys, I wanted you to also to know one more thing. I'm very grateful for you guys viewing and watching my episodes. It means a lot to me, and I'll keep saying it as long as I'm exactly filming, as long as I'm doing more episodes, and as long as I'm keep on continue doing more episodes and more videos about my characters and about the bad guys and the good guys as well. Very grateful for your support and also for viewing my episodes, guys. It means a lot to me. So God bless you all. On today's episode, we're here to speak about the Court of Nature, which is a very powerful secret society which is an ancient secret society of supervillains, which is a very ancient secret society of supervillains that was quietly formed by Lord Jackson Notent Knight Mac, no, by Lord Jackson Notent Knight Mac, who formed it in the early centuries after he resigned from the Order of the Five in the early centuries. So we can exactly begin. In the early centuries, Notent Knight Lord Jackson Lord of the Knights was exactly a member of the Order of the Five that exactly decides the fate of humanity and that wants to exactly rule and conquer the universe and the rest of the sacred worlds and the rest of the known worlds in the process as well. During at that time, Jackson exactly felt that he needed a different path and he needed a different destination and needed a different destiny of his own goals and of his own mission as well. He exactly took it upon himself to leave and resign from the Order of the Five. He told Shadow Master that he needed to found his own organization and his own group of supervillains who will exactly aid him in his own goals and his own missions as well. Shadow Master didn't exactly want to fight with Jackson, realizing it could create a war between the two forces, realizing it could create a war between the two forces. So he decided to let him go on his way to pursue his own destiny and his own goals exactly, which the two of them exactly shaked hands, remarking that the Order of the Five will always be an ally to his organization, to whatever he may call it, the Court of Nature, as Jackson exactly called it and referred to them, and to his group known as the Court of Nature as well, which he quietly exactly able to tell Shadow Master as well during at that time as well. During at that time, Jackson Noten Mac began his journey and his mission. That is just exactly universe barking at the people at my neighbors as well, guys, who are also making noise. So sorry for that disturbance. And anyway, as where was I? Yes. Anyway, on that on during on that century, Jackson exactly began forming his group, which exactly could exactly help him seizing control of many worlds and many planets and many civilization. He found a group of other noted knight assassins, and he decided to recruit them to his goal and to his mission as well. During at that time, they managed to liberate many worlds and many civilizations from the Shadow Empire's control, which was under the leadership of the original Lord of Magic. They exactly liberated those worlds and those civilizations from the Shadow Empire's control, and Jackson was very quietly pleased and satisfied, and he decided to name his group the Court of Nature, which was able to seize control of many numerous worlds and planets and civilizations and cities of the sacred world and of the sacred universe in a process. During at that time, Jackson exactly founded a huge big island city which was able to exactly conquer and rename it under his sole control, by placing it under his sole control and under his sole protection, where there was a huge temple, where there was a huge ancient crystal temple within the city, and he decided in order to make that city and to make the island city, to make the island city and the temple as his central headquarters, as many other colonies, as many other colony worlds and planets and cities that have been conquered by the Shadow Empire, he decided to take over those territories and rule them and place them under his sole control. He placed many of his followers and many of his men throughout those cities and throughout those island cities and those colonies and the colony cities that were conquered by the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders in the early centuries. In doing so, to remove the grip and the influence of the original Nola magic, to remove the grip and the influence of the original Nola magic from his way, so that the people of the other worlds and the other civilization will be exactly living in harmony as accordingly with the supernaturals, with the aliens and superhumans as well in the process. Jackson exactly realized that his ambition has saved many worlds and many civilizations throughout the rest of sacred history and throughout the rest of the sacred world, realizing that the original Nola magic is becoming a threat and posing a very greater threat to his mission and to his goals. He just has to take it upon himself to exactly remain silent and also to remain hidden. During at that time, he began expanding his dominion and his rule throughout many conquered colonies and many conquered colony worlds and many other conquered colony worlds and cities of the sacred world and of the sacred universe, which created a rift within the other supernatural races and the other alien races and the other superhuman races within the process as well. By doing so, the rift was actually continued to expand as the Four Nation Hunters continued to wage war with the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders as well within the process. During at that time, Jackson was exactly quietly sitting within his central headquarters of the temple, where he was able to sit where he was able to sit at the capital of the city, able to exactly sit on the chair of the city, able to exactly watch the war and the battle from his monitors, and was very quietly reluctantly pleased as the generals of the Noten Knight assassins exactly approached him and exactly gave him counsel him and gave him advice on how to procure with their next step and then also the next plans of attacking. Jackson exactly reassured the generals and the commanders that everything else is going according to plan the way it's intended to be. Over the following centuries and over the following years, Jackson remained hidden and remained low and kept himself hidden in secrecy while the war between good and evil continued to wage on and continued to go on as the monsters between the Four Nation Hunters continued to wage on and continued to go on for many millennia to go on. And Jackson began exactly watching the war and began exactly monitoring the war, seeing that there are new threats and new foes and new enemies rising from the precipice. He decided now it's a time to assemble a group of his that has existed for many millennia. He decided to extend invitations to few powerful criminals known as Queen Light, Switch, Mind Man as well, and the other members which quietly or which is quietly known as Red Master and also the Red King. He decided to dispatch those invitations on those members and was able to exactly begin attending a video audience on the members. He decided to recruit those members and extend an invitation of those members respectively respectively of the members benefits all of the members' abilities and talents and expertise as well as the abilities and talents and expertise on their goal and also to helping the organization and as well the organization's goals and mission as well in the process. On the 1st of February, Jackson was exactly present on a video audience conference when the Dark Druids exactly told him that the Universal Heroes have thought of the operation and as well as their plans. But Jackson exactly reassured the Druid that everything else is going according to plan the way it was supposed to be. On the 10th of February, when one Shadow Empire Warlord Commander reformed the members of the Court of Nature, that everything else of the operation is quietly going according to plan, with the original Normal Magic quietly waging war with the Universal Heroes and with the members of the Intergalactic Coalition. Mindman exactly said that everything else is going accordingly to schedule the way it's meant to be. The demise of the original Normal Magic will exactly place the rest of the other worlds and cities and population under their sole control when he's quietly faced his demise under the demise of the prophesied child of the new universal man as well. On the first of March, Lord Jackson was able to exactly watch a video conference of the war, stating that everything else is going accordingly to plan the way it's intended to be, and everything else is taking place the way it was meant to be. On the 10th of March, the Noten Knight exactly presented a huge crystal that was quietly highly active and highly powerful with its energy source, and Noten Knight was quietly present, and Jackson was quietly present at the video conference as well. On the 15th of March, the members of the Court of Nature exactly decided to meet up on an ancient crystal temple within the central headquarters of the organization, which was an island city, and the crystal temple was in the middle of that city as well. They decided to exactly reconvene and discuss their plans and the operation. Queen Knight was very much concerned over the the original Lolo magic becoming a threat and everything. Jackson exactly reassured the members of the Court of Nature that everything else is going according to plan, the way it's intended to be. The demise of the original Lolo magic would exactly provide them more resources and more allies to exactly supply them with more endless destructive technology and more powerful technology as part of the agreement and as part of the deal as well. On the first of April, news of the original Little Magic's death created a power vacuum within the Shadow Empire. Created a power vacuum within the Shadow Empire itself, forcing other Shadow Empire warlord and commander to exactly forming secretive alliances with group of supervillains such as the Order of the Five, the Order of the Six, the Galactic, the Founders, the Galactic, the Sacred Circle, Lord Shadow Jack, and also Lord Justin and Lord Winter King, and Zendek as well, forming secretive alliances with those group of supervillains in order to help them achieve their ultimate goals and their plans as well in the process as well. During at that time, the Shadow Empire Warlords commanders exactly were able to meet up with Jackson, exactly telling him that they're willing to exactly supply his organization, and the rest of his organization with more destructive technology and powerful technology as part of their deal, which will exactly benefit them in many ways, and they'll be placing all the other worlds and other civilization under his sole control as well as part of their deal. And Lord Jackson was very quietly pleased and very, very quietly happy of this arrangement and of this deal. During at that time, Lord Jackson exactly remained within the central headquarters of his island city, where he was able to exactly rule his people with greatness and with great authority, as he ruled the organization and the secret society of supervillains known as the Court of Nature with greatness and with great authority, as well as he led and ruled his people with greatness and with great authority, as he kept on expanding his empire and his dominion over other conquered cities and over other conquered colonies and cities and other planets and other worlds and other civilization. The Shadow Empire between um between um between May and June, the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders launched a full-scale invasion on the other worlds and other civilization under the direct order of Lord Jackson. They exactly launched a full-scale invasion of the other cities and other worlds of the alien worlds, of the other cities of the other cities of the alien worlds and supernatural worlds and cities of the sacred universe and of the sacred world as well, in a process which the Intergalactic Coalition was able to intercept them. The battle between good and evil waged on for 2 years. For 2 years of those years, between May and June, the battle waged on for 2 years. The Intergalactic Coalition's resources were stretched too thin, as they realized that the enemy behind who orchestrated this movement was more powerful and more dangerous than ever before. After the 2 years had passed, on the 1st of July, the Shadow Empire warlord exactly returned to the central headquarters of Lord Jackson, telling him that the preparations and everything else were quietly set, and everything else has been quietly set. The Intergalactic Coalition took the bait, and he also informed Lord Jackson that there's a new Lolo Magic and his new organization, his new civil society of supervillains known as the Order of Power, that's quietly ruling from the shadows and manipulating the Shadow Empire to its will, and recreating and rebuilding the new Shadow Empire in its grain image. And his followers and his proteges of doing his good works in his mission and his goal to wiping out and exterminating the supernaturals and the aliens and the superhumans in the process. Lord Jackson Noten wasn't exactly much concerned about the supernaturals being exterminated or the aliens or the superhumans as well. He was very much more concerned of the universal heroes and the united heroes and the world heroes and the Intergalactic Coalition, which he learned from his past mistakes. They can never be underestimated in his ability in thwarting his operation and his plans. He told the Shadow Empire to begin preparations in wiping them out once and for all. On the on the 15th of July, the Universal Monster Heroes and the Universal Defending Heroes exactly arrived on an abandoned city planet, which they began exactly investigating when they realized that the abandoned city was a ruined city that was quietly besieged by dark magic, by the dark druids and dark witches and the dark faithful that were quietly at war with the warlocks and fairies and witches as well, for soul control, for their soul survival, to live in the sacred world and in the sacred universe. And that the four nation hunters tried to keep the peace between the two forces, between good and evil, unaware that this city was quietly used as a way to ambush the enemy, that the enemy was quietly using the ruins of the city to ambush the heroes and to wipe them out. The villains quietly appeared out of nowhere and began stating to the Universal Monster Heroes and to the Universal Defending Heroes that that the orders came from the masters of below and also above, stating that this is a time that they exactly faced the reckoning day and that they had enough of the interference, that it's time for them to be wiped out. The Shadow Empire warlords and commanders were heavily equipped with destructive Shadow Empire technology, and as well as the Notin Knight assassins were heavily equipped with destructive Shadow Empire technology and also powered with great powerful technology as well on their sides. The Universal Monster Heroes and the Universal Defending Heroes realized that they have to marshal up their forces, they have to marshal up their troops, and began waging war and began battling. They exactly did battle with their enemies and with their villains, and they took on their villains and the bad guys as well. The battle lasted about for 15 minutes and for 2 hours, exactly able to take them down. They were able to gag some of the villains and some of the bad guys, and they were ultimately sentenced straightly into the astral prison, or excuse me, to the sacred prison or to the dark arc prison. Those prisons are designed to hold and house super criminals and super villains, and also the worst of the worst of the worst, evil warlocks and evil warlords and evil Shadow Empire warlords and commanders as well. But unaware that the Astral Prison was controlled by another supervillain known as Professor War, who is a secret member of another secret society of supervillains known as the Founders, with the goal to rule and conquer and control the known universe and the sacred universe in the process, to further their own goals and also their own plans as well. He secretly released those prisoners and those criminals and those prisoners and those villains, and he secretly released them back into the custody of the Court of Nature. Lord Jackson exactly appeared from Professor War, within Professor War's astral prison, within the office on the 1st of August, stated to him that the Court of Nature appreciates and evaluates his services and his resources, as well as the Court of Nature will remain allies of the Founders as long as that the two sides don't exactly compromise each other's plans and as well as their goals, because they share the common interest and the common goal as well. Professor Wu exactly stated to Lord Jackson that the plans of the Founders are aligned with the Court of Nature's plans, but they're quietly different of the Court of Nature as well. But they will exactly remain ally no matter what. Lord Jackson realized that he needs to form a truce with the Founders before they can exactly jeopardize or ruin his plans. On the 15th of August, Lord Jackson was teleported by Dark Druid to meet up with the Dark King and also with Dark Grey within an ancient ruined temple to speak about their plans and also for them. The Dark King and Dark Grey exactly propose an alliance with the Court of Nature, to stating that they can become allies to their goals in order for them to work together, seeing the Universal Prince and the Star Prince exactly joining forces together, becoming more powerful than anything else ever before, and also with the new Lord of Magic arising from the shadows and his new enlightening colleagues that also helping him within the shadows, they becoming a powerful duo, and the Universal Heroes starting the operation and as well as their plans, meaning if they also become allies as well, they can become more powerful and assist each other with their goals and also with their interests as well. Lord Jackson exactly agreed with the Dark King and also with Dark Grey, stating that in order for them to further their own goals and their own plans, they have to work together. But they will combine their resources and utilize them for their ultimate goal and for their ultimate plan as well. The Dark Grey exactly shook hands with Lord Jackson, stated that they are hereby allies and that they have formed an alliance, an impenetrable, formidable alliance, just as the Universal Prince and the Star Prince did. They were quietly inspired by the alliance that the Universal Prince and the Universal Prince and the Star Prince formed as well, which could benefit them to controlling the sacred universe and the star universe and the golden universe, the over universe, the sacred universe, and also the robotics universe, and also the mixel universe in the process for sole domination over the sacred world and over the sacred universe in the process of it. They were very quietly amazed. They were very quietly inspired. And this alliance will strengthen their resources and also their connections as well, which will be able to utilize those resources for their ultimate goal. And Lord Jackson was reluctantly pleased that he formed an alliance with a powerful, powerful villain, and also with two powerful villains who will be able to aid him in his respective goals and in his respective conquests and controlling other worlds and other planets and other city and other alien cities and supernatural cities within the sacred world as well, which could benefit them by many ways. On the on the 1st of August, Lord Jackson reconvened with the members of the Court of Nature, stated that they have forged a new alliance with the founders, that they are hereby aligned, they are hereby their allies, and that they exactly will help them with their respective goals and conquests as well, which could benefit them in many ways. Queen Light exactly begin to ask if this alliance could exactly benefit them in many ways, then so be it. Then we're hereby allies as well. He exactly began to be more concerned about Red Bolt and the Dark Order that are quietly waging war with the Star Empire, which are willing to wage war for sole control over two universes, the Sacred Universe and also the Star Universe. Lord Jackson exactly relayed the concerns of the members of the Court of Nature, meaning that everything is going according to plan. When the Shadow Empire wages war with the Star Empire for sole dominance over the known universe and over the Sacred Universe and over the Star Universe, they will be the ones in control, and they will be the ones in control over those universes, over the Sacred Universe and over the Star Universe, when the enemies have exactly fallen down. And also by manipulating the universal heroes and Intergalactic Coalition to their ideals and also to their motives, which could exactly plan for their grand plan and also for their grand vision as well, for the Sacred Universe and for the sacred world in the fiercest of the battle as well. Mindman exactly realized that the universal Earth heroes could exactly become useful for their future plans and for their future goals in removing their greatest competitor and their greatest enemy, known as the new Lord of Magic and Lord Clay, who is, after all, a protege and an apprentice of the new Lord of Magic, known as Lord Jet, which I'll tell you about him someday. But don't worry, you'll exactly know about him someday. Anyway, he exactly was quietly displeased at the rumors that Lord Clay is already quietly taking control of the organization, of the new Lord of Magic and his new empire, meaning that Clay is becoming quietly very, very, very violent, and is quietly becoming hungry for more power and for more destruction and for more blood, meaning that could exactly work in their favor as well, to tipping the scales of balance. Also, Switch was able to exactly inform the members of the Court of Nature that Witchcaster is searching for powerful, ancient, dark magic energy power, which could also shift the balance of power rapidly, meaning that they could also exactly go after that power as well. Lord Jackson exactly told Switch to pursue his quest, going after that power for himself, which could exactly help him to remain in power and in control over the dark magic users and over the other dark magic users who have quietly sworn allegiance and loyalty to the other powerful high priestesses and other powerful dark witches and dark faithful as well. But despite that, Lord Jackson exactly informed the members of the Court of Nature that the plan is going accordingly to plan and that everything else will be restored to glory the way it's meant to be, and that the plan is in schedule. All they have to do is allow the Shadow Empire to wage war with the Star Empire for sole control over the Sacred Universe and over the Star Universe. When that happens, they'll be the ones in control over the galaxy and over the Sacred Universe and over the Star Universe. If the two forces of evil, known as Red Bolt and the Star Prince, are done killing each other in the battle and in the war, which could exactly benefit them in many ways. But despite that, Lord Jackson exactly reassured that the universal heroes will be used as pawn and as well to manipulate them to their advantage and as well to their great plan, which they can never be underestimated with their abilities in building the operation and as well as their plans. Well, guys, as you can see, the Court of Nature is an ancient secret society of supervillains that has existed for millennia and for many centuries. Its goal and mission and plan is to seizing control of other worlds, and other cities and other planets and other worlds and other cities, and other worlds and other planets and other cities, in a process for them to become the sole rulers of the universe, to become the sole rulers of the universe and of the cosmos in wealth. They were quietly founded and led by Lord Jackson, who is a former member of the Order of the Five in the early centuries, who believes that he also has a greater destiny and a greater mission of his own, which he also sees, which he also has a grand vision of the sacred world, one of the other worlds, and out of the other worlds and the other cities out of the other worlds and the other cities of the sacred world and of the sacred universe as well, to lead the people, to lead the supernatural people and the alien people and the superhuman people as well. He learns that he can never take the universal hero's ability and also the intergalactic coalition and the United Heroes ability, including his operations and ability, never to take them lightly and never to underestimate them again, which learns that they could be used as pawns to his game, to his larger scheme, and also to his larger plan in taking control of the other worlds and the other cities as well in the process. Lord Jackson is very ambitious, very cruel, and very ruthless in nature. His central headquarters is an island city with a huge crystal temple in the middle of it. That's where he sits in the middle of the throne. He sits in the middle of the throne room where he exactly able to lead his empire and his people with greatness authority. He commands his people and he leads them with greatness authority. His empire is a Noten Knight empire, which is also quietly led which also works on the behalf of the Order of the Five, but there are different types of followers, and many other followers have also strayed from working for the Order of the Five and decided to follow a different type of leader as well, which they see Lord Jackson as the kind of leader who can exactly help them, who can exactly expand the empire and also the rule. This empire of assassin has quietly able to adapt and evolve its technology and its military strategies due to the leadership of Lord Jackson and the Court of Nature's expertise and the talents of the members. Due to that, they become more powerful and more dangerous and more very, very, very untouchable and indestructible throughout sacred history. To be led by a powerful leader known as Lord Jackson is one of the greatest things that the Noten Knights assassins have come to exactly appreciate and also learn to respect. He leads the organization and the society and the empire with an iron fist, and he leads it as a great monarchy and as a very great, great leader. And he commands his empire and the rest of his forces to conquer many cities and many worlds and many planets throughout the known universe and throughout the known worlds and throughout the rest of sacred existence in a process, and also to wiping out the Four Nation Hunters in a process as well, because he believes that they are also a threat to his plan and as well to his goal. And he's willing to do whatever it takes to remain in power and in control, even by forming alliances with powerful criminals such as Switch, Queen Light, and also Mindman, and Red Master and Red King as well. Forming an alliance with those powerful criminals in order for them to utilize their resources for his ultimate goal. He's willing to make sure that his society and his associates are in power, and as well his empire and his people are in power and in control of the cosmos and of the other sacred cities of the sacred world and of the sacred universe. In the process, even by fighting up against his greatest competitor, he will manipulate and use the sacred heroes and the universal heroes and the intergalactic coalition to his advantages in order for them to fight his battles for him so that he can exactly seize control of other worlds. He even formed alliances with another ancient secret society of supervillains known as the Founders, that is quietly led and founded by the Dark King and Dark Grey in order for them to further their own goals and their mission, which they both exactly share something else in common, not to take these heroes lightly or underestimate them ever again by any means necessary. Due to his own gravity, he believes that he is destined to lead and rule other cities and other worlds, and also to guide them through the greatness of his ability and to make sure that they remain in power and in control. Him and his associates will do whatever it takes to remain in power and in control of the wars and of the other worlds and of the other cities, even by manipulating the sacred war to his advantages to further his own plans and his own goals in the process as well. Lord Jackson is a very ambitious Noten Knight, very ambitious, cruel, ruthless. He loves the thrill of battle, and he is very, very powerful and an immortal being that's lived for many, many centuries. He maintains the usual basis of the organization and as well its central headquarters, which is a huge, beautiful island island city, and within that island city is a huge temple of his central headquarters where his people exactly speak to him. Within his hall there's a throne room within the center of the temple where he can exactly sit and exactly command his generals and his warlords and his forces to do his bidding and to fulfill his plans in the process. So he's very powerful and very ambitious and very cruel. He's very skilled in swordsmanship, agility, endurance, marksmanship, hand-to-hand combat, very smart, intelligent being, lived for many centuries and for many millennia. Well, guys, that's it for today's episode. Enjoy your holidays. Have a blessed evening and a weekend and a holiday. I will see you when the schools open again. Stay safe and God bless you all. Take care. Chop chop.